think it has been a very interesting year, and one that I would say it's consolidating a lot of the foundation that was laid in the first strategy from 2013 to 2017. That is a strategy that really started discussions on issues related to sustainability, exploring areas related to the enabling environment for civil society, looking at how civil society could look at other ways, in addition to our general institutional governance training, but other ways of enabling the capacity of civil society through knowledge, for example. So strengthening that. And 2018 to 2022, which is where our strategy covers for the next 5 years, is consolidating that. And 2018 has definitely been, by all accounts, the beginning of that consolidation. Because in 2018, we have actually seen from the research that was done, we have had convenings on civil society sustainability in Ghana, working with partners like Star Ghana. We have seen changes come about from work that has been done through our partnership with Wildeganzen, where in the Change the Game Academy, where there have been different training programs on domestic resource mobilization. There have been very interesting stories that have come out where organizations have reached out to their local communities and actually found the resources to support their programming and make greater impact in the community. So you see that we see a certain consolidation. We did talk a lot about knowledge and knowledge capacity in 2020, from 2013 to 2017. In 2018, we are actually looking and working more at increasing that knowledge, doing that knowledge curation for civil society. And so there's a lot of effort around making sure that we have the right knowledge resources for civil society to use. Our partnership with Civicus on the Civic Space Monitor is something that WACSI has even strengthened further, and using that as well as the situation reports that have been written to engage civil society, to inform them about what is going on within the sector and how different things are affecting them, particularly the closing of civic space is one of these areas. Civil society sustainability, again, we continue to do work around this area. We are even, in 2013 to 2017, WACSI was looking at training civil society and strengthening civil society's capacity. We did a lot of trainings. We are looking at even different ways, different methodologies of doing that. And 2018 has been the beginning of that process. So I see that there's a lot of building on and strengthening what had already taken place from 2013 to 2017. But not only that, WACSI in 2018 to 2022 is also looking at new areas. So, like I said before, we have been saying capacity building, capacity development is not only training. There are other areas. And the technology and development aspect of our strategy is one of these new areas where WACSI is focusing on enabling civil society to be more efficient, more effective in what they do by providing technology resources in partnership with TechSoup, so that civil society can get software products at a discount or for free to enable them do their work. They're able to save some money, but it also makes them more efficient in the work that they do, because these are tools that they need anyway. And looking also at that, how civil human rights organizations can use technology to make their work safer and see how it could be more effective. So you see that these are some of the movements that have been made. From 2013 to 2017. In 2018, we really are now building on what happened. It is building on, and so it is not completely new, because it really is looking at how we get even better at what has been done in the past. and make it more impactful. But it also has new areas, and one of these is that you would have noticed, or many organizations recognize or acknowledge WACSI as an organization that strengthens civil society organizations. And a lot of the time when we are talking about that, we are looking at NGOs. Now, this is a new strategy that is saying, yes, NGOs are a very important part of civil society, but civil society is more than NGOs. We have to look at faith-based organizations, professional bodies, social movements. How does WACSI engage these different areas and constituencies within civil society and be useful to them as a resource? So that is definitely one new thing about this strategy. There's a deliberate effort to reach beyond NGOs. This is also a strategy where, as I said before, even though we have talked a lot about knowledge in our previous work, there is more emphasis on knowledge, how we can really use knowledge to strengthen civil society's capacity. So WACSI is deliberately working on, for example, ensuring that we have databases that civil society organizations can use effectively, like the e-directory, the civil society regional West Africa Civil Society database, that civil society and other partners, other stakeholders in development that are interested in West Africa's development can look at and or find civil society organizations that are doing good work. We have also ensured that this is a strategy that does not only focus on the normal things that have been done. You know, the different kinds of, yes, we have trainings and we have meetings, but the ways of learning. So the methodologies that are being used, for example, the shared learning process, the peer learning process, you know, and strengthening even more our mentoring and coaching aspects of our training, so that as we train individuals, our long-term strategy is really strengthening institutions, and we look at how we can do this long-term and institutionalize the learning. So learning is a very critical part. Knowledge, curation, and learning is a very critical part of the strategy for 2018 to 2022. And this year we have kick-started or continuing and or revved up, if I can put it that way, and the work around that. And WACSI's own role as a thought leader on issues such as civil society sustainability is one that we have really pushed hard to work on. So we are looking at sustainability of civil society, working in partnership with others like Star Ghana, like Wildeganzen, and like other partners that are coming on board to really look at different aspects of civil society sustainability, not only financial sustainability. And even within financial sustainability, what are the different ways, like social enterprise, you know, like looking at how we can engage high net worth individuals, looking at different areas of financial sustainability, our own African local indigenous philanthropy, working with the diaspora. So all these are areas, and this year WACSI has really engaged a lot more in that. And then of course there are also other areas like the technology and development that I talked about. And for our women and women's empowerment and youth empowerment, we have been very strategic in looking at how we can engage, working with the Commonwealth Foundation, West African women, to really come around the table to kind of relook or take another look at the women's agenda in West Africa. And this was done with a women's dialogue, which took place in March this year. And that has inspired discussions on the women's movement in different countries, and Commonwealth Foundation and WACSI and others are continuing this work, particularly in Sierra Leone, Ghana, and Nigeria this year and in the coming years. So you can see that we are moving ahead. There's momentum that is building, and this year has played a very critical role. I mean, the different things that we have done have played a very critical role. I think they should, the areas that I have talked about is what they should expect. They should expect that we would continue to push on the issue of civil society sustainability. They should expect that we would continue to hold their hands and hold their hands, and they hold our hands as we work against the closing of civic space. Looking particularly at different areas, looking at legal policy regulatory framework, for example. That is definitely one area that we could look at. They should expect that the work that we do on youth leadership, women's leadership, youth empowerment and women's empowerment will continue. They should expect more on the technology and development front, because whether we like it or not, we are in the fourth industrial revolution, and we cannot do without technology. And so how does civil society in West Africa adapt technology to suit our context and enable us to be more effective in the work that we do, and really contribute to the development of the region. So they should expect that we'll be doing a lot more. And we would also expect, as we were talking about the things, we would expect that we are going to have stronger partnerships, because WACSI is a facilitator. WACSI is like the oil in an engine. We oil the wheels. But the wheels are there, but we oil them. So you need that oil to make sure that it works. So we want that partnership. They should expect that we would have very strong partnerships. We believe in partnership as a very key value, and we will be working with different partners as we go forward. We will be looking at some very interesting issues around women's empowerment and women's leadership, strengthening the capacity of organizations working in areas like child marriage, for example. And these are areas that they should expect that they'll be hearing more from us. We will continue to work with civil society organizations to push in areas that are not necessarily areas that we have seen a lot of change. Drug policy reform is one. A lot has been done, but there's still more that needs to be done, and we'll be working with the different partners in the regions to do that. They should expect more innovative programming from WACSI. They should expect more accessibility, because we are listening to the organizations we work with who want a lot more of WACSI's programs to reach them in their countries, or for them to be able to reach those programs through different methods. So we are looking at that. They should expect that there will be a lot more of work around that. So these are some of the things that I think they definitely should look forward to in 2019. Well, I mean, there are different program areas that we work in and with that partners that we have worked with are interested in. The 4 key areas that WACSI is working in now for the next 5 years, broadly speaking: civil society sustainability, the enabling environment for civil society, women's empowerment and youth empowerment, and also technology for development. These are 4 key programmatic areas. And within this, our strategy for doing that is the training and strengthening of institutions. We are also we continue to do the knowledge curation and the work around that, and policy advocacy and influencing, and particularly targeting for our youth empowerment area, youth leadership and grooming and growing youth leaders in West Africa. So any organization that within the region that is interested in these areas can work with WACSI, and working with WACSI is is in different ways. You can be part of our programs, you can participate in our programs, we can work with you in your country on your programming, and there are different areas that we could engage. What is important is to know what it is that we are doing, and I think our website is definitely a good place to go, www.wacsi.org. There's a lot of information there, and you can also get the contacts of the organization there and reach out to see which kind of areas we could look at to work.